Welcome to Necessary Roughness for FantasyAlarm.com. I'm your host, Ray Flowers. Let's take a look back at the wide receiver position from 2015 and start out with the first number of the day, and that is 105. 105 is the number of receptions this season for Demaryius Thomas, who also scored 6 touchdowns and went for over 1,300 yards. Universally, that effort is looked at as a down season. Now, I'll tell you how good a guy is when he goes for 100, 1,306, and it's a down year. Part of that is quarterback play. Both Osweiler and Manning let him down at times. Part of it was his own play. Be it because of lack of focus or what have you, he seemed to drop an awful lot of wide open passes this year. His numbers could have been much bigger if he had just held on to the passes that were catchable balls. The fact is, it was a down year. Yes. Did he live up to expectations? No. Let's not forget this is a guy that scored 12 touchdowns the previous 3 years as an average, down to 6 this year. But he still had very good numbers. He wasn't a catastrophic failure like so many. Going into 2016, quarterback play will be a key for him. He'll still be one of the top wide receivers off the board. Next number is the number of 3. It's the number of touchdowns scored this season by Mike Evans. Now, I was on record before the season started saying, hey, Mike Evans, he's not going to be on my teams. I thought he was overrated. 42% of his production in the PPR setup last year came in 3 games. What do we get this year? We got a guy who saw 25 more targets this season, but still managed to go from 12 touchdowns to 3. Yeah, rookie quarterback and all that. Jameis Winston played pretty well this year. I don't think we really want to lay this at the feet of Evans. I mean, at the feet of his quarterback. We have to lay it at the feet of Evans. Evans was ejected late in the year for arguing with officials. He had 5 games this year of over 100 yards. He had 5 games this season under 50 yards, continuing that yo-yo that he showed as a rookie. From week to week, Mike Evans cannot be trusted. In elite talent, overall the numbers were pretty good despite losing those 9 touchdowns. But not really a growth year in his second season in the NFL. Massive potential, and that's the key that's going to keep people looking at him as a wide receiver 1. But with all of that up and down from week to week, extremely hard to trust in the fantasy game. The next number of the day is 66.8. That's the number of yards per contest for Doug Baldwin. Now look, folks, I know Baldwin scored 14 touchdowns. Fantastic. Given his cost, which was late in drafts or off the waiver wire, a stupendous effort. But realize he didn't average 5 catches a game, and he didn't average 70 yards a game. He didn't even average 5 and 70. You got a guy going out there and catching 5 and 70. You know, you got Golden Tate. How many people love Golden Tate? Here's one final fact with Doug Baldwin before we get into all of it in 2016 about why he's going to be overdrafted. Doug Baldwin did score those 14 touchdowns. You know how many times in Calvin Johnson's career that he's had 10 touchdowns in back-to-back seasons? 1 time. Calvin Johnson has had back-to-back 10 touchdown seasons once. You think Doug Baldwin's going to do it? We'll see. Great year for Doug Baldwin, at least in 2015. Final number of the day is 3. Now, this is pretty amazing. How many times in the last 4 years has Eric Decker caught 80 passes? 3 times. How many times has he gone for 1,000 yards? 3 times. How many times has he scored 10 touchdowns? 3 times. 3 of the last 4 years, Eric Decker has gone 80, 1,000, and 10. Now, if that isn't impressive, I don't really know what is. Well, maybe there's one other thing with Eric Decker that's more impressive. He missed 1 game in 2015. In every other game he played, all 15 games this year for the Jets, Eric Decker either scored a touchdown or went over 80 yards. Every game, 80 yards or a touchdown. A remarkable season in 2015 for Eric Decker. Ray Flowers, FantasyAlarm.com. You've been listening to Unnecessary Roughness, our review of the wide receiver position. Go to FantasyAlarm.com right now. We got baseball, hockey, we're of course doing football still, and the NBA is all running right now at FantasyAlarm.com.